If you like yarn hauls, I'd love it if you'd stick around because I'm about to open this Joann's box. If you are new, I am Shannon from Shannon Talks Yarn, and I don't do a massive amount of yarn hauls. I am definitely on a budget, so a lot of my hauls are smaller and from more local places I can go to. But this is a Joann.com order, and I'm pretty excited because I got a fantastic deal. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and let's get to it. All right, so first off, just like my last Joann's order, it is in this, I guess you would call it a garbage sack. But I really like that because I live on a gravel road, and actually when they dropped, this came FedEx, and when they dropped it off, it was actually like kind of sprinkling. I was home, but yeah, I do really like that they're putting the plastic on here. All right, so if you ended up watching last Sunday's podcast, I will link that up here. I had been at Joann's in person in the store the day prior to that, and I had seen that they had not Karen, they had Red Heart Super Saver Jumbos and the ombres on sale for $4.99, and I was just distracted. We were kind of doing other things, and I didn't get any. So when I got home, I got online, and they were still $4.99, but they had an additional 20% off, and it was I want to say like 99-cent shipping or $1.99, but I know I've kind of complained about this before. It is, but it isn't, because then they tack on a handling fee, so it pretty much is $5 shipping, which is fine because it would cost me $5 in gas at least. Probably, I don't even want to know how much more it would actually cost to get to Joann. So that is fine that it was the $5 shipping. But here is what I got. I was messaging with Justine, and we were both talking about how we wish we had gotten more. So this is pretty small. I actually only got 8 items, and I am 100% kicking myself right now. So since they were $4.99 and it took the 20% off, these ombres and these jumbos were $3.99. That's $4. Like, I don't know why that didn't, like, I know what the problem was. I was trying to rationalize, like, okay, Shannon, you don't really have projects for these skeins of yarn, so don't buy a ton. Yeah, that's why I didn't, and I'm kicking myself for that. Does anybody keep, like, this whole process made me think, I need to start a journal for yarn sales, so I possibly know or have like a better idea what to expect and when they're coming up and everything. So does anybody do that? Like, do you keep track of that stuff? Let me know if you do, and like what your secret is. So you ready to see the yarn? So I got 2 that were not the ombres, so I will show you those first. They are the same. These are the jumbos of the Buff Fleck. I'm sorry, that is wrong. I have Buff Fleck upstairs. This is Erin Fleck. So I just think this is so pretty. It is a little more neutral than the Buff Fleck. The Buff Fleck has a little bit, of a tan, obviously with the name, but the Erin is definitely more of a cream. And then the little flecks in it, there is a brown, kind of like a caramely color, and then there's a gray and a black. So I thought that was very pretty, and I just thought that this was a great neutral, and there's like a lot I could do with this. These jumbos are, let me see how many yards it is. I mean, because everybody's pretty familiar with Red Heart Super Saver. Why can't I find it? Okay, there's 482 yards in here. So, this is just under 1,000 yards. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot I could do with this, and I am quite happy with these. All right, so the next one I also got 2 of, and I definitely still like it, but this is the one I saw in the store, and I know from buying the Super Saver Ombre in the deep teal, when I was making a blanket out of that, it's my shell in the round video. I will link that up here if you want to check that out. But I probably had 20 plus skeins of that yarn, like strewn about in the aisle and on the shelves and in my cart, because I was trying to match up dye lots, because it was definitely a big enough difference that you could tell when they were next to each other. So I do know that the dye lots do make a difference with Super Saver Ombres. And so these 2 I got are Cocoa right here. I feel like on camera they are reading a little bit lighter than they are in person for sure. Let me see if I bring them back. Maybe it's just because there's more dark covered. But in the store, these definitely, the ones I saw, had more of a, like, I would say almost an auburn look to them. So it was like a reddish brown, which is kind of what I fell in love with. So I do like these, and these are absolutely beautiful neutrals, and so I'm definitely keeping them, of course, because that is beautiful. But I might check out the store, and if the ombres go on sale again, or I might just end up, wouldn't that be a kicker if I bought them at full price after getting these for $4? Oh my gosh. But I did really fall in love with the Cocoa that was in the store. That was more of an auburn. And maybe it's just the lighting in my house today. It is very overcast. We are getting like our first dusting of snow in Iowa today. So it's, for it being 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it is super dark out. So I will check these out in different lighting, but chances are I'm probably going to pick up, see if the ones are still in the store that were that same dye lot. So anyway, another great choice, beautiful neutral. All right, the next 1, 2, 3 of these are all just one-ofs. So this will go pretty quick here. But the next one I got is Sand. And it's a very light cream color. And I'll put it next to the Cocoa so you can see the difference. Because this looks very light on camera and this is very light. So I just thought I would show you the difference between the Sand and the Cocoa right there. This sand is very soft compared to a lot of the other Super Savers. So I just don't know if it's because it doesn't have as much dye in it, but it feels really good. All right, so I have 3 more yarns to go here. And the first is this green apple. And I have seen this one in Walmart multiple times and almost bought it. But I think there, it runs between like $7 and $9. So I got the green apple. I got this really pretty yellow. I actually got it, it made me think about Leah Crochets and just how much she likes that bright sunny yarn. So she was kind of my inspiration for this one. This one is just called Sunny. And I hadn't ever seen this one in person before. So it is really pretty and super fun. And then the last one I got is called Hot Sauce. And this is like pinks and coral and orange is how that kind of plays out right there. I don't know if you can see it, right there in the center. Really pretty. So if you have caught my podcast the last couple of Sundays, you'll know I have been trying to clean up my channel a little bit as far as organizing it. And so normally I would have put this video in my yarn hauls and unboxings, but I split that up because it was getting a little too full, and I thought it would be better if I separated it into Joann's unboxing and hauls, and then I have a separate Hobby Lobby hauls, and then all the other hauls where it's like more random or places I've only ordered from. Like I've got 2 Lion Brand or unboxings and like 1 Hirschner's and then some thrift hauls and stuff like that. So those will all be in the original playlist of yarn hauls and unboxings, but this one I will have right here in this playlist for Joann's unboxings. I want to thank you guys for talking yarn with me today.